Welcome to My Trout Fly Series. This is a fly tying series all about, yes, you guessed it, trout flies. I am going to be going into a fair bit of basic entomology. I'm going to be discussing different type of insects that, that will typically be found within a trout's diet. And then from an angling point of view, what fly pattern we could use to hopefully imitate that particular bug. I do hope to get a good mix of impressionist and imitative patterns, along with some attractors and searching patterns. I also want to try and get some traditional wet flies in there, some spiders, and hopefully one or two realistic ties too. One of the main parts of the series is just to help break down some of the fancy terminology that you're going to come across when you start looking at basic entomology. So things like aquatic macroinvertebrates. Now, breaking that down is actually quite simple. So aquatic being water or water-based, macro meaning small, and then invertebrates meaning an animal lacking a backbone. That is essentially what it breaks down to. Aquatic, water, macro, small, invertebrates, an insect or a bug. So now when you also come across terrestrial macroinvertebrates, terrestrial meaning land, you're not really going to concern ourselves with bugs that grow up on land, certainly not their life cycle, but there are times when those bugs do find their way into the water, and that's when trout eat them. So yes, terrestrials do form part of a trout's diet, a big part of a trout's diet at times. So yes, we do want to concentrate on terrestrial flies or terrestrial insects. However, we're not too concerned about their life cycle, apart from the point where they somehow find themselves in the water where they can be eaten by trout. However, on the other side of that, when we start talking about aquatic macroinvertebrates, that's very different. Now, these are bugs that grow up in the water and they have a life cycle subsurface where, yeah, they can get eaten by trout pretty much the whole way through their life cycle. Now, what I also want to do is break down some of the kind of fancy terminology you're going to come across. So I will start talking about the bugs. I'm going to talk about the order of bug. Now, the order is kind of just the big category. So when you start talking about Ephemeroptera, for example, Ephemeroptera is an upwinged fly, or commonly known as mayflies. So your mayfly order of insect has several different species and families in that order of insect. So yeah, when you hear me talk about Ephemeroptera, I'm going to be talking about mayflies. I'm going to break that down and make that a little bit more digestible. I am going to be going through the other order of insects, being Trichoptera, Plecoptera, Diptera, Odonata, crustaceans. There's going to be leeches, tadpoles, and also other food sources like fish, for example. So quite a lot going on there, and I really do hope you like the series.